I was on a call with this entrepreneur who's very successful, and he was saying, we're not robots, we're human beings, right? And so many entrepreneurs and business people make the mistake of wanting to be clear cut, wanting to be like no emotions, no ups and downs, none of that. They just want to just present this false image, this fake image to the public on their platforms, on their social media, with themselves even, right? At the core, with yourself. And not only do people see through that, not only do people not even relate to that, but that's not even how it works. If you really want to win, we're human beings. We're creatures of emotion. We have all these emotions. It's a reality, whether we like it or not. Whether you want to boil it down to science and hormones and things like that, or you want to go more into metaphysics, or you want to go into spirituality, whatever you want to do to justify it to yourself, the reality is what we know, which is we get very emotional. We do have ups and downs. We are affected and impacted by others and whatnot. So instead of trying to shut that out, instead of trying to act like you're a robot, how about, and by the way, robots nowadays are starting to have emotions too. So I saw a video where this robot had different emotions on his face and whatnot. So AI is getting good. So I can't even use that example anymore moving forward. 20 years from now, I might get canceled for saying robots don't have emotions. So what you want to do is you want to channel these emotions instead of getting distracted or sidetracked by them. You want to channel them accordingly and use them to win. Now, that being said, of course, be aware not to get too connected to those emotions, right? Like detach yourself, again, back to Stoic philosophies. Make sure you understand that at the end of the day, you're playing your own game. At the end of the day, these are other people, whether it's friends, close friends or whatnot, they're not living your life, right? And that's why it's so important to make your own decisions, right? Because nobody will live your life for you. You know, nobody's going to go and pay your bills. Nobody's going to step in your shoes. And when they tell you, go get a job, go become a doctor, those same people, whether it's parents, family, friends, whoever, aren't going to put on the lab coat and walk into the lab and sit down with people every day and ask what symptoms they have. You're the one that has to go do that every single day of your life. So be very careful what you listen to, because they won't step in your shoes and do that. They're telling you what they believe they should have done. The last thing is this: people can only teach you stuff from their own experiences. If I'm here wanting to teach you about medicine, don't listen to anything I say. Ignore it, because I'm not a doctor. I'm not trained on that. I'm not a pharmacist. Whatever else you want to say, right? I can't tell you from my own experiences on this topic. If I want to teach you about certain things, I can't do that. That's just not me, right? That's not my experience. So people can only teach you from their own real experiences. Everything else they tell you is just from theory, and it should really just be blocked out. So one other thing that I heard when I was young that really helped me, that I think will be valuable to all of you here, is only take advice from someone you would trade places with. In that category, by the way. So it's depending on what we're talking about here, right? So if we're talking about sales or business, take advice from somebody you would trade places with. If we're talking finances and investments, take advice from somebody you would trade places with. If we're talking relationships, now we're getting to like personal and family life. This happens so much with families, friends. They love to give you like relationship advice or whatnot. Take advice from somebody you would trade places with. Use this as an exercise for yourself. Next time your buddy's telling you, you're making a mistake, don't do this, don't pursue that. This is terrible. You're not going to make it there. Ask yourself this question. In that area, what he's telling me in business and income and revenue and lifestyle, whatever he's talking about, would I trade places with this guy? Actually, no, he's broke. He doesn't have money. He probably lives with his parents. I don't think he's pretty clear on what he wants to do with his life. So would I trade places with this guy? Probably not. Just an example, right? Next time your uncle gives you stock tips, ask yourself, are they wealthy independently? Are they invested? Have they proven a track record of at least a few years, if not a decade or more? They're broke. They're constantly looking around for money. They're not really an investor. They change their tune every day. One day they do this, one day they do that. In one ear, out the other ear. And you should literally do that as a conscious practice. Like actively listen while not listening. But that's a good question for you guys. Take advice from someone you would trade places with.